guys. Thank you for joining me. Today is January 19th, 2022. We have a live image from the Old Faithful web camera, currently of the back basin there at Yellowstone. A lot of clouds coming in. USGS once again is bold-faced lying about an earthquake that was in Virginia or close to Virginia City. It took them a while to post, but originally they said it was a magnitude 2.85. They then upgraded it to a 2.9. But it was actually a magnitude 3.2, maybe a little bit larger. Over here we have Moose Creek, Idaho on the right. The center is the borehole for Grant. And on the left is the borehole for the Madison River area. You can see here at Moose Creek, Idaho, it really stirred up the caldera, brought up some hot gases, hot water. And down there at the bottom, it's actually a magnitude 3.28. That's right, 3.28, not a 2.9. Using Google Earth, here's the location of that earthquake. We'll bring it out. It was up in the mountains. It was fairly deep. So about 7 miles below sea level. All earthquakes are measured from sea level. And this is a real sparse area. And as you know, the deeper the earthquake, the type of soil has a lot to do with how far out people will feel this earthquake. So it was about 16 miles from Virginia City. Let's go up to where that location is. Right there. And I want to measure just exactly how far Virginia City is from this 3.2. I got about 16 miles. Okay, let's clear that out. But you can see here we got, lots of mountains. Not far from Barton Gulch. If you're wondering about the lines that I have drawn out, the black line here is the distance of the uplift of Yellowstone that I got the measurements from back in 2015. And I measured it out from the center of the caldera using the red lines, going out to where, this is how far out back then the uplift had extended. 3.2 is a big difference from a 2.9. As you guys have recently learned, any volcano can erupt with little or no warning. USGS believes that if there's going to be a large eruption, they will be probably about 2 weeks notice before that eruption, with a series of earthquakes, uplift, and things like that. Like the eruption with Tonga that had no warning whatsoever. There evidently was a buildup, a lot of gas before its eruption, and the geologists there in Tonga were looking at the earthquake monitors and said, things are settling down, when in fact they weren't. They should have been looking at the gases that were being produced. The rise in the SO2, CO2, etc., which were creating an increase in lightning strikes, should have been a warning sign. Here at the borehole for Grant, this is a very deep well under the ground. I've talked about boreholes, how they're probably about 600 feet under the ground with a cap of cement at the top. Looks like earlier today they were having some drum beats. See those small earthquakes? Drum beats are often an indication of magma on the move, pulsating as it rises up through the conduit. I noticed all these earthquakes earlier, mostly through this line right here. The monitor for Grant was shut down for a long time. After there was an increase in earthquakes, it looked like the magma had found an area where the crust was weaker and was trying to come up. This was probably maybe 4 years ago, where the magma was trying to come up. Those of it have followed me will remember that incident back then. This here is the borehole 207 for the Madison River area. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marked in red, meaning the monitors picked it up, sent a signature, signal, email, whatever, to the geologist, and they were to come in and review it. So there's the 3.2. The next one would be this one right here at about 1743. That one there is in the Madison River area. They're saying it's a magnitude 0.6. Once again, they're lying. They don't care that you know they're lying. That came in as a magnitude 2.16. Yeah, 2.16, and they're saying it's a 0.6. The next one, that is at 1701. That is a magnitude 0.7. Yeah, we had a small swarm there today. Shallow, 5.3 kilometers in depth. So that would be about 3.29 miles. That would be in the upper part of the upper magma chamber. That one is actually a magnitude 2.08. Let's look at the spectrogram. 2.08. All right, the next one marked in red at 1452. Do you think they'll tell the truth about the real magnitude of that one? Now they're saying it's a 0.5, 8.6 kilometers in depth. So that would be about 5.4 miles in depth. That one, in truth, is a magnitude 2.0. Let me bring it down a little bit farther so you can see it. 2.0. And there's its signature. Let's take a look at the spectrogram. Yeah, and they're trying to tell you that that was a magnitude 0.5, where in truth, a 2.0. All right, the next one marked in red at 1414 is a minus 0.5. Minus meaning it is a scale 10 times less than a magnitude 1. Now, I broke this down. There was a secondary quake. Gave them the benefit of the doubt, but normally in the past they have added these all together. And this is actually a magnitude 1.53, not a minus 0.5. So if I add that in, that little extra little blip, it would actually be a 1.93. Talking about pigs flying and the bull flying. Yeah, big time. Let's look at the spectrogram. The last one marked in red at 722, and we'll look at its signature. They're saying is a 0.7. Want to take bets on their lying about that one too? There's its signature. I shortened it up quite a bit, and I'll bring it down for you. Are you ready? Let's bring this down. It is a magnitude 1.90 at least. And we'll go to the spectrogram because I go by how far out the spectrogram. Let's do this again. We'll shorten it up a little bit. Okay. Shorten it up. Going by the gases. And it still comes in as a 1.83. Once again, they said it was a 0.7. Who in the world at the University of Utah is measuring these earthquakes? They need to get their eyes checked. They might not even be open right now. The last thing they even posted on YouTube was a year ago. So, yeah. A message was probably sent to someone's iPhone, and yeah, maybe they don't have a big enough screen to see how large the earthquake was. Too lazy to go online or open their computer. Can you imagine that? A 0.7, right, when in actuality it is a 1.83, and I gave them the benefit of the doubt. There's the signature as it came in at Moose Creek, Idaho. And let's look at the spectrogram. Yeah, the line of melt. There is another one marked in red for that location. Look at that. A nice, quick, sharp pop. About 6:10. Now these are all universal time. That one too, I divided up. You can see there's some other activity. A lot of times I'll add it in, but I divided it up. And I get, let me bring it down, a magnitude 1.32. And look, I'm right on the money. Comes in as a 1.3. They don't put in the other dots. That was in Kelly, Wyoming, down there. Let's take a look at it. Now, the person that took the reading from that one was from Montana. They told the truth. Now, in the past, I have caught them in a few mistakes, but this time they did not mess up on that. Now, why would the university there in Montana, why was this not the University of Utah that did this earthquake? So let's look at the spectrogram. Yep, we got some heat coming up. Kelly, Wyoming, near there, they're saying there's the location, that yellow pin. And let's bring it out. What do we got here? We got Baldy Mountain. What else? It's still within the uplift area. Oh, the Grand Tetons. Yeah, this is the area that, blew out right there. It blew out from the last major eruption of Yellowstone. Let's bring this down a little bit, and I got some of the other faults drawn out. Not far from where the uplift is been mapped out. Not far from the locked zone of the Teton Fault, which they know could possibly one day have a magnitude 7.2 or greater earthquake. Not far from the Jackson Lake Dam. These several little blips in red, they're not reporting. Let's look at the signature. It's not a sharp pop of an earthquake. We do have volcanic tremors. It could be an earthquake there, could be one there, and could be one there. And they don't show up on the other monitors, so we'll just skip that one for now. Earlier there was blobs of magma coming in. You can see the heat, the line of melt. Let's look at that one. There's another one. And we got some small tremors. Let's look at the signature there. Let me close it out and make it bigger for you. There you go. And we'll take a look at some of this other stuff that was going on down there. And this is what it was showing when I pulled the files a little while ago. Now this one right here, see how we got the signature at the top? That very well could be maybe an avalanche, a rock slide, whatever. And I've talked about signatures of surface events. Let's mark that there, and I'll right there. Let's make that bigger. It's been, 4 days since the eruption of the volcano there by Tonga. I think they're still waiting for help to arrive. Let me pull this over a little bit for you. But yeah, I hope that gives you guys an indication if this thing ever erupted, even if it was a small eruption. You're going to be waiting a long time for someone to come and help you. So you should be prepared. You know, being prepared also is a good way to beat inflation if you stock up Things are not going to go down. They're going to rise in price. So if you find something on sale, buy it, stock up. That's what I do. And, yeah, it's a great way to beat inflation. Another thing I want to mention, I was listening to Biden's speech, his news broadcast or his news meeting, his first one that he had since March of last year. And he actually said that we are going to probably go to war with Russia. He knows Russia will invade Ukraine. And how we respond depends on our NATO allies. So that's another reason you guys should be prepared, should be stocked up. Think of all the things that are imported. Your coffee, your chocolate, what else? Different fruits and vegetables. Right now it's wintertime, so we're not growing them here. What do we get from Europe? What do we get that's probably rotting in the cargo ships off the coast? Well, one thing is your medicine. That comes from China. So Biden said that, yeah, war is coming. How bad of a war? Depends on how big of an invasion Putin pulls off. And he knows that Putin is going to invade Russia. Yeah, more bad news. So anyways, that's all I have for you right now. Oh, bananas. We get those from overseas. Yeah. Any thoughts or comments or questions, put it down below. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for your support. I really appreciate it. You guys know who you are. Please stay safe, and I will talk to you later. God bless you.